my name is Sarah and this is Sarah Yoga. Welcome. Today we've got a great post-run stretching yoga practice. So this is great if you're just coming off a run or a race and really want to cool down in an effective way that allows you to lengthen back out your spine and stretch into your muscles. And this is also good even if you didn't just go for a run but you feel really tight in the legs and the hips and you want to elongate that spine. So if you have blocks, you can grab those. Sometimes they're nice just to have handy, but they're not required. No fancy clothes are required. Just you, yourself, and your mats. We're here to feel better than we currently do and embrace the body, the mind, and the breath. So grab your mat and let's get started. All right, so we're going to start this practice off by jumping right into a downward dog, Adho Mukha Shavasana. So swivel around, take it up and back. And for this one, we're going to walk our feet in a little, make it a shorter downward dog. And so by doing that, you kind of put more push into those legs and you can play with dragging the heels down and back. So it's trying to get into your calf muscles really. You can work to push into the hands and let your head drop down here. And just breathing into those calves. You might kind of pedal it out a little bit, roll out through the ankles. But then ultimately coming back to pulling the heels down and back so we can get that nice stretch into the back of the Achilles tendon and the calves. Take a nice big breath in here. Exhale, release. So we're going to go for a little walk and walk the hands back to the feet instead of walking the feet forward. So we're in a nice forward fold. Feet are still hip width distance apart for this one. And if you have access to this, it feels nice when you're tight in the legs to release that whole upper body and just let your head hang by clasping opposite elbows. You can work to shift the weight towards the balls of the feet, really just releasing that upper spine as well. Stretching out the low back. So feel free to sway if that feels good. Nice, shake it out a little bit. Just really letting all of that decompress in the spine. So good for the body, whether you're a runner or not, so good for the body. One more inhale. And then exhale, release the arms, let the head drop down a little more. Keep your heels pulling back and we'll start to walk the hands forward. So you're going to resist the heels pulling up from the mat and we'll eventually make our way into our regular length downward dog. And those heels will eventually come up, which is fine, but keep the directional pull back towards the back of the mat. So you again get that stretch into the calves. Push into your hands. Tilt the tailbone up a little and then exhale. Release. So now let's go for a walk all the way to the top of the mat and we'll find that same forward fold. So this time you might walk your feet together with your heels slightly apart so your outer edges of your feet are parallel. Let your head drop down and this is just a different, right, you can probably feel it. It gets into a different part of the legs when those feet are together. Your head drop down, and if this is too much on the low back, the hips, you can always walk your feet back out hip width distance apart. And just kind of taking little mini circles with the hips here, kind of rolling around, finding these edges of the legs that feel tight, keeping the head soft. Nice. And then we're going to put a little bend in the knees and get all ragdoll here. I'm going to walk my feet back out because I like to roll up with the feet at that hip width distance apart. It's a little bit safer for the low back and kind of following your body here. We're going to roll up. And as you come up, Take those arms, flip them out. So just a quick little flow to find length. You're not really going for the full extension here, but just enough to find that length. Exhale, hands come back to the heart. Let's take a big wrap around on the inhale, push into the feet, lengthen. And then exhale, up and over, forward fold. Inhale, walk your hands to the tops of the thighs, reach your heart forward, feel the spine lengthen. And then exhale, we're going to plant the palms, keep the right foot forward. Step that left foot back, lowering the left knee down. So a quick little lunge here, and this is where your blocks might come into handy. So you can always prop yourself up a little bit higher, or you can stay low here. Feel that stretch into the top of the psoas, the hip flexor here. But what we're going to do is we're going to roll the inner thigh back a little and wrap your outer left hip down. So you get more into the front of the hip than the inner groin. And then we'll use that and start to peel all the way up. Scissoring the inner thighs together, so right hip pulls back, left hip forward to keep that stretch in the top of the thigh. And then reach your fingertips down, roll open through the heart like you're leaning back here. Big stretch into the front of that hip flexor. Nice. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, release. We're going to come back down. Left hand stays down as you walk that right foot over to the right a little. Right hand comes to the inside edge. Turn your right toes out. Left knee walks back. So you get a deeper pull into the top of the thigh. And then from here, roll open. So this might be enough. This might be, right, if you're an avid runner and you kind of forget or kind of brush off the stretching and you're used to that, these legs might be super tight. And so this might be enough. If you want to take it further, you can take the right arm up, maybe bend the left knee and reach back. You can reach all the way back and maybe grab the foot, pulling the heel in, belly in, really twisting open here. So I actually like to kind of rock towards the top of my kneecap, rock forward to get a little bit more to the front of that left hip. Let go of the jaw. One more inhale. And then exhale, release. So keep the hands to the inside edge of the foot. Just turn the right toes back forward, still a little bit out to the right. And then we're going to tuck those back toes, lift up the back knee. On your inhale, send your tailbone back, heart forward. Exhale, push into that right foot and fold. Nice. Inhale, come forwards. As you drop the knee, stretch into the front of the hip. Exhale, lengthen and fold, getting the hamstring, the back of the calf again. Inhale, come forward. And exhale, fold. So this time on your inhale, keep that back knee up. Just walk your front foot into the center of your mat, so your hands are framing. Spin the left heel down. We're going to rise up, warrior two, just for a brief moment here. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, hands to the hips. Swivel the toes back around, and we'll take this wide-legged stance a little bit wider. And then take your right hand down that right leg, lift up with the left, hug your inner thighs in towards one another, and stretch up and over to the right. And then see if you can roll your heart open. Exhale, we're going to release, come all the way down, wide-legged forward fold, take a breath in. Exhale, walk your hands over to that right foot. Nice. Inhale. And then exhale, we're going to swivel all the way around here. So we're now facing the left side. We'll do this whole thing on the left side. So first that knee comes down. Take a breath and roll open. Feel that lunge. And then exhale, release. So we're gonna rise up here into our Anjaneyasana, our low lunge pose, and pull right hip forward, left hip back, drop that inner groin on the right side down, and then reach your fingertips down and back, rolling open, right into the front of that right thigh. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Walk your left foot now over to the left. Hands come to the inside edge. First, the toes are going to spin out to the left. You're going to walk that right knee back. Take a breath in. Again, you might just stay here. Hip opener on that left side. You want to add that psoas stretch on the right side. You're going to reach up with the left hand. Reach back, maybe grab the right foot, maybe pull that knee in as you lift up and out of the ground, peeling open through the heart. A few rounds of breath here. Nice. And then exhale, release. Hands still, the inside of the left foot. Just turn your left toes back forward. Tuck the back toes, pick up your right knee. Take a breath and lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, push into your left foot and fold. Woo. Side is tight. Inhale, drop it down. Stretching open through the front body. And then exhale to the back of that left hamstring. Fold. Let's do one more. Inhale. And exhale. Fold. All right, so now we're gonna come forward, swivel that right heel down, walk your left foot to the center of the mat. Just one brief breath here, warrior two. Sink into the left knee, wide and open. And then lengthen, turn your toes in, so you're pigeon-toed, wide-legged stance. Take a breath in. Exhale. So we're going to go to the other side. Left fingertips reach down. Scoop the belly in. Take it up and over. Turn the heart open. Getting right into that right side of your hip. Inhale, come up. So a little bit different. We're going to add on something to the side. Just bring your hands to your low back. Push your hips forward. Take a nice big breath in. And then exhale, clasp your hands and take it up and over into that fold. Let your head drop down. Take one more inhale here. Maybe rock towards the balls of your feet. And then exhale, release. Walk your hands over to your left foot and pull yourself to the left. And then exhale, release. So we're going to make our way back over to that right side. Bring down the left knee. Step that right knee back. And then we'll make our way into a seat. We'll take one last forward fold here. Sitting, legs out in front of you, move some of that flesh out of the way. This is a definite pose I always come to after a run or after being on the legs or standing all day. And just a simple Paschimottanasana forward fold. Let's take a breath and reach up, elongate that spine, and then exhale up and over. So you can always bend your knees a little bit. You can always grab onto the backs of the knees, the sides of the shins, or if you have access to it, your feet, pulling your pinky side of the foot back, almost like you're lengthening through the inner ankle, the inner shin. Let's give ourselves one more breath here to elongate out of the ground, push into the sits bones, heart forward, and then exhale, fold. And then go ahead, release that. You can point your toes as you come up. If you can reach your toes, you might take your pointer finger and just push down your big toe. Nice. We're going to come down all the way onto the back. Pull the knees in. Take a couple rocks from left to right. Roll out that low back. So one last happy baby here, grabbing onto the outer edges of the feet, the shins, the knees. You can rock a little bit. And then in this happy baby, bring the bottoms of the feet together. Wrap your hands around the outer edges of your feet and then pull your knees away from you as you connect your low back and the tailbone down to the ground. Take one more breath in and then exhale. Just kind of extend all the way out. And then release the arms down by your side, palms facing up for a brief moment here in Shavasana. Just let that whole body release down. So nice job if you've been running or maybe getting back into running, or maybe you just had a busy day on your feet, or your legs are sore from sitting. Really taking care of yourself, and giving some length, some strength back into the body. So feel free to stay here if you're practicing at home and you have a little bit more time. You might linger here in Shavasana for 5-10 more minutes, whatever you can manage. If you must move on, meet me in a final seat. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope this helped lengthen those legs back out, find some flexibility, some mobility to aid you in your running practice or your everyday life. Hopefully I will see you soon. See you next time on XSarah Yoga. Thanks again. Namaste.